I mean, I think the biggest blessing any of us could have is to wake up one day and think, I know why I was put onto this earth. I know what I need to be doing. And it's not always going to be necessarily the thing that just gives you personal satisfaction. You know, it could be your calling could be something quite different to that. Terminal lucidity is super, super interesting. I did my PhD in neuroscience because I thought I wanted to become a neurologist, but then I became a psychiatrist, which is also super fascinating in terms of things like you can hear voices that aren't there and, you know, your mood can change, like, you know, not in your control. But in terminal lucidity is when people who either have had dementia for a significant period of time or have had a stroke, and so parts of their brain are physically altered or damaged, chemically or physically, and they have lost the personality and level of consciousness that their closest friends and family knew in them, can suddenly become completely lucid. So we've got stories of, you know, parents who no longer recognize their children and their grandchildren, just suddenly saying one day, oh, Jay, darling, come here. I want to, like, you know, give you a motherly message. And it's usually a sign that they will pass away within 1 to 24 hours. But there's no physical explanation for how they could know the names and react in a completely maternal or paternal way towards an adult child that they didn't recognize for several years. So that starts to make you think, are we actually connected to our body? And if we're not, what does that mean? And I don't have all the answers, but
yeah, it's fascinating.
You know, yeah.
No, please, sorry, carry on.
Well, I was just going to say, it makes you think that what happens in this life and in this physical world and on this material plane can't be the be all and end all of everything. And if it's not, what does that mean about how I want to live? And to me, that brings me back to, I want to live a life that's guided by love. And, you know, I don't mean romantic love by that necessarily, although that could be included. If I've got a dilemma, if I've got a difficult decision to make, if I'm feeling like I'm in a really challenging situation, then I always go back to love and gratitude. And I've now included observing beauty as part of that too, because what they're all doing is moving us into the oxytocin state, which is our highest state, and really the only state from which we can live our best life. So it's really about doing everything that you can to move yourself away from stress and towards love. And overly listening to that chatter around you is pretty much going to do the opposite. So it is a little bit about liberating ourselves from that, I think, at least for moments.